Prasad Sarangi ji. He's an English professor at the Balasore Engineering College. He restarted the Balasore Lodge, which was defunct, and that is a great credit to him. You know how much hard work is there to start a lodge and to keep it going. He's a national lecturer. His father, too, was a great theosophist from Cuttack. He used to teach, and his entire family is involved in the Theosophical Society. So this is going to be a two-part lecture. Welcome, Professor. Please join. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I welcome all of you, those who have come here to listen to me. And since this is a vast subject, I have very limited knowledge about it, what I have read the books. So I have divided my talk into two parts. The first part I am going to tell that what actually we mean by this universe. The first part of the talk will be that what we are thinking about the universe and practically what the universe is actually is, both from the scientific point of view as well as from the philosophical point of view. And the next part will be how man actually interact himself with this universe and what is the relationship between man and the universe. And this relationship to what extent exists and how can we achieve our higher consciousness, we can say pure consciousness, when we know the various intricacies in which the divine law actually operates. So first of all, I'm going to tell you actually what we mean by this universe from a physical point of view. I think we all, more or less, have some knowledge regarding this particular universe. And we all know that 95% of the universe we actually cannot see. So what we see is a part of the observable universe accounts only 5%. The 95% of this universe constitute of dark matter, dark energy, which we neither can perceive and neither can know. So we only observe the 5% of the universe. And what we see and feel regarding the universe. And this universe contains so many galaxies, so many black holes, so many stars, so many planets. And we are so insignificant in this universe that in what extent we can able to understand its intricacies, its operations. The study says that this observable universe has around 2 trillion galaxies. So this 5% universe that we see, that contains 2 trillion galaxies. And even the Milky Way, which is our home galaxy, to which our solar system began, contains 400 billion stars, an equal number or more number of planets. So this solar system to which we belong is a small cluster which is a part of our galaxy. And it gives us a very faint idea that how much we are so little, so insignificant when we are talking about this big universe. Practically, our knowledge of the universe is very much limited. But this limited knowledge actually gives us a certain type of idea that definitely this great universe, its operation cannot be just a random function. There must be some type of consciousness. There must be some type of divine plans are there, which is constantly monitoring, which is constantly executing, which is regulating this series of unfoldment. And the more we know about this gradual unfoldment of this universe, even if what we actually see, all these galaxies and all these clusters of the stars and all these planets, etc., that do arises in us a deeper sense of awe and admiration, that how we are the part and parcel of a big force, and how, because of our unnecessary involvement in the trivial matter, very often we ignore it. So again, if you see this universe, we can see another thing, that this universe is not static. It is 100% dynamic. It is more dynamic than beyond our imagination. Dynamic in the sense that lot of activities are going on in this universe. In each and every seconds, stars are getting formed and they are also getting dissolved. We know the supernovas, we know the interstellar dust that form this part of this particular galaxy that helps in formation of the stars, and how this process is going on. How the galaxies are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and some galaxies are getting smaller. Some are moving in a tremendous speed, which is clockwise. Some are also moving in anti-clockwise. How within a galaxies, hundreds and crores and billions of stars are getting created. Again, some of them also get themselves dissolved into interstellar dust. So if you see, we can find that every moment, in every second, in every minute, a lot of activities is going on. And billions and trillions of activities are going. And the activities are so that it do arises in us a greater degree of affinity, that what is that particular force? What is that gigantic, tremendous energy? What is that great cosmic evolution? What is that Purna Brahma, or the pure consciousness that is behind all these operations? And as a very small and insignificant creature like a man, and how I carry within me that spark spirit of eternity as a soul, and to what extent my soul is related with that great universal energy. So here, if you see again in this universe, everything is tremendously moving. A lot of activities is going on, from photon up to the bigger galaxies. Everything has their respective orbit. They move and move and move. Nothing here is permanent. Nothing here is fixed. Nothing here is at rest. Nothing here is, we can say, is forever. Constantly, everything here is a matter of fetch. Everything is a gradual unfoldment. Everybody is rotating in their respective orbit. And their rotation is so harmonious that not a single particle's rotation clashes with the rotation of another particle. Look at from this rotation of an electron to rotation of the planet Earth, to the rotation of this entire solar system, to the rotation of the galaxy, everything have their respective orbit. Everything have their respective journey. And they all are moving and moving and moving towards an unknown truth. And everything is in a matter of unfoldment. And if you see, then what this universe is, we can say that we have made some deeper scientific study to find out that what accounts the major force which is building this universe. More or less, the studies say that at a deepest level, this universe is nothing but a holographic presentation of certain type of informations. And these informations are presented in the light frequencies. It is the interference of the light that creates pattern. And this entanglement of these light particles and these patterns create this particular holography. So what we see in this universe is practically is an holographic presentation of a great cosmic force. I think here we can make a parallel so that we can little bit understand how it is an holographic presentation. We can see a rainbow. We can take the example of a rainbow. So a rainbow is created when sunlight represents through raindrops. Each droplets of the rain acts like a tiny prism. And when the light particles passes through these tiny droplets, which acts like a prism, it bends and splits light into different colors. And then we have a beautiful rainbow. But if we see the rainbow, is there any actually colors? There is no colors at all. There is no artist who is painting it. But still we have a color. So when we have a no color, still we have a presentation of the color. And this color presentation comes because of this splitting of this solar light through these raindrops. And again, it appears to us so beautiful. We can take another examples also. We can say that in a bright sunny day, we can close a big hall. We can close it totally. And we can allow the light to fall through a filmy screen that can enter inside the room. And when it enters inside the room through the film screen, we can see that so many patterns like shadow is falling on the walls. If a 5 and 6 year child will be there, he may cry that ghosts have entered into the house. So many type of we can find patterns are moving and they are getting created. But these are nothing but the interference of the light that causes different type of creation of these patterns which we see. To some extent, we can see that all these observable universe that actually we see, which actually we visualize, they are nothing but a holographic presentation. And this holographic presentation comes because of this interference of this light particle. This is from the scientific background of the scientific presentation. So what is there at the core level? From where actually it comes? From where actually it goes? So at our core level, if you see that all these that is happening, even if we can say some extent our entire body, we can say some extent we all are actually pure light. We all are actually pure energies. Being a spark fleet of this universal energy, our soul also carry the same fundamental principles that actually governs the whole universe. In a little bit sense, my soul is not different either from a galaxy or from a planet or from an electron. Everywhere, the same principles and the same rules or the same patterns that is reflected also is finding reflections in my body or in my soul. So my soul, in a sense, in a deepest level, carries also all the fundamental principles. My soul is at singular that at point, at an ultimate point, we are actually one. I am not different from that great light that shines through this universe, that controls this universe, that causes this universe to come into being and become. I am also the part of that great super consciousness. In fact, I cannot be separated all my potency, with all my power, with all my capacity. It is impossible on my part. I cannot be separated from that great force, from that great light. So this separation is not there, but still I feel myself separated. I feel my individuality. And this feeling of individuality comes because of an illusion. And this illusion is caused, I think we all know, because of this lower mind. As we know, that mind is the self-layer of truth. And this sense of separation, this sense of illusion that I am different from that, I have an individuality, actually causes pain. It causes suffering. It is a delusion. As long as I have that delusion, I have the suffering. I have to pass through this tremendous pain. I have to pass through different type of cycles of the evolution. And why? As long as I have not realized that practically I am one with that great universal force. In a other way, the whole universe is present in a subtle manner within me. I am the universe, and the universe is with me. And if you see, again, from the scientific point of view, if you see that all these fundamental laws, that variable we put a lot of emphasis. We say that without these fundamental laws, the physical universe cannot be there. If we analyze this deeply, we find that these fundamental laws are actually not fundamental. They are half truths. They are sub-secondary laws of nature. They have come at a separate stage. We can say that all the talks around the strong force, the weak force, the string theory, general relativity, electromagnetism, which we feel are the building blocks of the universe, they are not there at the primary stage. In the primary stage, when the universe actually revealed itself, when there is a so-called Big Bang, which is supported by the scientists that we had a Big Bang, that 13 billion years ago, or we can say when this one becomes many, when the entire world came into existence, at that time, these forces were not there. They came in a later stage. So all these fundamental forces, which we very often put a lot of emphasis, even if today the studies say that they are not fundamental. To some extent, they help us to explain certain type of physical laws. But when we look deeper into the origin of this universe, they do not help us. They simply help us to understand some operations of the physical principles. But when it comes to the deeper level, we understand and we know that these laws they neither were there in the primary stage nor they are actually fundamental. That is the reason for which we have evolved certain type of words by which we feel that these laws are not applicable. We call a matter as dark matter. Why? Because we do not know what that matter is. That do not interact with gravity, that do not interact with light, that do not interact with any strong force and weak force, that remains hidden, yet it participates in every activity. We do not know what that force is. We also do not know what that bigger force is which is causing the universe a tremendous expansion. And we call them, as we do not know, also we do not know that in this universe was not created, at which stage it was there. We called it that it is a superpositioning state. It is a state of singularity, which is above all laws, which is above all principles, which is in a very peculiar way, every possibility is also was also there. So everything is written, and all these things do say that this universe had something else. So what it is not like that. So what is visible is not the reality. The reality is there behind the screen. And to see the reality, to understand this reality, and to have the vision in this reality, then we have to pass from center, from periphery to the center. We have to look deeper within myself. Why? Because to some extent, the whole universe is also present within there within me. If I able to see that, I can see what is there in the whole universe also. So at the most deepest fundamental level, to some extent, the science say that this universe encodes himself through different type of structures, through different type of matters. But all these structures and the matters, they are nothing, but they are the energized form of light. In fact, the entire universe is nothing but simply light. For that we call it as prakash. That when God wants to reveal itself, the whole universe gets enlightened with the divine light. And within a twinkle of an eye, the universe came into existence. So the thou art want to reveal himself, and he revealed also himself through light. Science also say that the whole universe is nothing, but it is a story of light. Light is the real storyteller. All these hidden things are present in the light. So if you can see the light, we can see the unfoldment of the universe. The universe is nothing but of layered frequency, but of layered structures. So depending upon my ability, I can sense a universe. So if I can raise my ability, if I can reach the higher and higher frequencies, if I can listen to the higher and higher multidimensional world, if I can go to that, I also can understand, and also I can see the greater part of this universe. So a very small, minor, or the fraction part of the universe is visible to me. Why? Because I am not, my senses are not yet ready to see those deeper frequencies that is operating behind the screen. We call this universe is made of Brahman. The Brahman comes and go. And also the science agree that the universe is nothing but of waves and frequencies. When the wave function collapse, we see certain type of visible things. And because of some higher frequencies my sense cannot perceive, I also not permitted to see those delicate and those higher worlds also. So this projection of this universal consciousness, this holographic presentation of this universal consciousness through purely frequencies into different type of physical shape and fields that we actually observe as physical, that we define as matter, is the real story behind this universe. Practically, we know that there is nothing called matter. Matter is an energized form of energy. So certain and at the deepest level, when the universe first actually revealed itself, and when the universe first came into existence, at that time no matter was there. It was pure light, pure waves. In a very, very later stage, this visible universe came into existence. Stars came, galaxies came, then matters came, and the photons actually revealed himself through the matter. And we see something that we call light that comes in a later stage. So at the deepest level, the universe is nothing but a just projection of a universal consciousness. This universe doesn't speak in words. We can see that universe is speaking. Constantly it is speaking. It is giving us a lot of message. But this universe is not speaking through words. Rather, it is speaking through light. It is speaking through higher frequency. The cosmic voice writes through the rhythm of light. If we can see the various finer particles of the light, we can see how the cosmic energy is revealing itself. How a photon is tremendously spinning, and in this spinning of a photon, how the entire history of the all the particles of this observable universe is written. So the very second we breathe, or the very second we pass, they are nothing, but they are the different phases. And these different phases are nothing, but they are the different wave functions, which the quantum physics say. And in some frequencies of light, we can look deeper and deeper and deeper, and we can see if we raise our consciousness to a higher level to these particular frequencies. To some extent, our theosophy also says like that. Our theosophy also says the reality is totally layered. What we see as reality is relative to my evolution of the consciousness. So the reality do not present itself before me As long as I am not capable to observe it, I am not capable to see it. Let me say that what secret doctrine says. The secret doctrine says that this universe consists of the seven planes. And all these seven planes, they have been created through a long years of evolution. They are not created all of a sudden. And they all are the harmonious creations. It is the first aspect, second aspect, and the third aspect. They interact with each other. And out of their interactions, all these visible universe that came into existence. So, what are these seven actually is written in the secret doctrine? It says the universe consists of finer and finer particles. It consists of shuttle planes. Out of the seven planes, three planes are quite formless. That is beyond our imagination. That is beyond our capacity to understand. They are the pure divine planes. And in those divine planes, what happens? What is its operation? How it works? We cannot say that.
Is he audible?
It is beyond the human knowledge. And the rest of the four subplanes are there. They are the fields of the cosmic evolutions. And these
I'm
four
not sure whether
subplanes.
others are able to hear him because I'm not able to hear.
Am I audible or not? Excuse me, am I audible or not?
Yes, now
You're
it
not
is
able to
audible.
hear it.
Am I audible or not? I have been speaking. I don't know whether I'm audible or not. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. It is to me. It is audible. Bimalji, what about you?
Oh, all right, sir. Continue, sir. I'm not able to hear him. I don't know why.
Continue. It is recording. Continue.
Okay. So what the secret doctrine says? The secret doctrine says that out of these seven subplanes, the first three planes are the planes of pure consciousness, are the divine planes. And these divine planes, how it operates, what type of matters are there, in which way its operations are there, in which way it functions, are beyond our imagination. We cannot know that unless and until we do not raise our consciousness up to that. And then comes the another four subplanes. These four subplanes are there in which the cosmic evolution or the cosmic consciousness creates its own field of evolutions. And these planes are, we can say, super spiritual. One plane, we can say the topmost plane, the divine plane is super spiritual. It is a higher state that we cannot think about it. We cannot imagine about it.
Sir, I think outside people are not able to hear him. Sheetal ji and Arunima ji all also saying that they can't hear him. Can you request him to shut his video off and then give the speech? We can see whether we can hear him.
Okay, I'm doing that. I'm shutting my video
And
off.
he's not able to hear us either.
So I don't know what is
Can you
going
hear
on.
us, sir?
No, Partha, your video, your data is very low. So sometimes it is not audible. But to me, it is clear. Your data, you
I'm
have,
doing, okay, I'm going to do one thing.
you
I'm
have
shutting
used
the
a lot
video
of
off.
data today. Your data is not showing a red color. So it is not, so that is the reason your some of voices are not clear. It is showing red mark, means your data in poor shape. Means you have used a lot of data today during the daytime by opening video, etc., etc., etc. Okay, now you continue. To me, it is clear. Recording is clear. I don't know what is Arunima.
I'm
So
doing
this is
one thing. I'm
Arunima
shutting my video so that it can be audible.
Shindiji, what are you
So
saying? The
now
1 minute
is it audible?
you can hear
No,
him.
my point is, suppose, yes, I am a clear, whatever he is telling, it is clear to me. Recording is also clear. Because the problem is that Partha has a very poor data connection. Net is very showing. Uh, yes, his network is very low. Partha, can you? I am just pause the recording. Can you change your uh, mobile setup in another setup which has more data?
And, the thing is that today I have not used this
Because
mobile. I have kept it only for the meeting. I don't know. A lot of data are there. I have not used this mobile today. This mobile has only been kept and just recently.
but you see the data is showing red mark means very low data connection. The
The
more
data
data
connection.
connection means it is not in white. Showing red connection. Uh, red means it is very poor data. One of our participant also mentioned the same thing. That is the reason your video is. You can speak, so I will open it. You can speak. There will be no problem. Only video will not come.
No, I am not switching on the
Is it
video.
okay,
I am only
Vimalji? You
speaking.
can start. Okay, then you continue.
So now I am
Yes.
simply speaking. I have not switched on my video. I hope that I will be audible. So that the seven planes of consciousness that I am talking about, that contains super spiritual, psychic, then astro-ethereal, soft astral, vital, and then physical. Out of this, the super spiritual state is purely a divine state. We do not know anything about that state, neither we can imagine about it. It is a state of purely divine field where the pure consciousness is there. And this super spiritual state is not possible for its own evolution, for its own unfoldment. Therefore, it delimited itself. From super spiritual, it limited itself and it becomes spiritual. But again, this spiritual state is also in a higher plane. For the sake of evolution, this higher plane that contains higher matter and the higher particles, they also not possible that every form will be created there. So this spiritual state again diluted itself. It came down to the psychic stage. It is the psychic stage where still it is full of spirituality. It is a state where no forms are there. We can say all these three planes, they are arupa, they are formless. No forms are there. They are bubbling with the divine particles, with the divine energy. From the psychic, again it diluted itself. Then comes the astro-ethereal. In this astro-ethereal state begins the visible world. Here the forms actually came into existence. It becomes a rupa world. This astro-ethereal again came down and it becomes sub-astral. In the sub-astral, it is actually visible. We can find that so many molecular structures actually formed. So many elements came into existence. And the very foundations of this physical universe actually was given, the foundation stone was given in the sub-astral. From the sub-astral, then came the vital. The vital are the pranic force, which can sustain this whole universe, we can sustain this universal energy. And from this vital, ultimately, it comes to the physical level. In this physical level, the higher spiritual further delimited itself, it diluted itself, it totally seethed itself, totally covered itself in so many seeds, in so many covers, so that the light is dim because it has so many type of coverings. But also it is essential for the unfoldment of this physical universe. So the universe that we see with all this solid state, here the matter can express itself in a state of solidity, the so-called solid things that we can touch, that we can feel, which we can define at the objective world, which we can define, which is definitive, on which we put so many emphasis, practically is an extension of the spiritual light. And also the science say the same things, that in the deepest level, everything is light. There is nothing at all. But we can see something solid because of certain type of wave functions, because of certain type of frequencies, they have become the invisible has become visible. And these visible things that very often we see in this physical universe, they are not the real fundamental force. They are the secondary, sub-secondary, and they are the half truths. So what we see, they are not truth. That is the reason for we say that what is visible is not truth, and what is not invisible, the truth is there. So this visible cosmos or this visible universe, if we try to understand it, if we try to realize it, what it is, then also we have to go and we have to understand the greater part of the invisible forces which is operating behind the screen. To some extent here, that how this entire universe came into existence or how this matter created, we can throw a light on that if we refer to the study of consciousness, in which Anivesant has further analyzed it in a very deeper manner. We know that in the study of consciousness, also it is written that how this entire world is sevenfold. We have sevenfold. This world is of sevenfold. Or we can say there are seven types. The most divine plane is called the Adi plane. It is the Adi plane is there where the matter is purely divine, where the matter is ultimately bubbling with a divine energy. In that Adi state, the matter that came, they are not matter at all. They are simply coilings in the space. And they are quivering with a divine energy. They are spinning with a divine energy. And this matter in the Adi plane is not possible to create this physical world. So therefore, this matter in Adi plane, it further arrested itself within another cavity and came the Anupadaka. And in the Anupadaka level, atom is one fold. One contains the Mula Prakriti of this Adi plane plus this Anupadaka. So what is there in the Adi plane, which is pure matter, it covered itself in the Anupadaka and become one fold. In the Anupadaka level also, beyond our imagination, these two planes, Adi and Anupadaka level, is not our area of discussion. So we cannot think about it. We cannot speak about it. We can't understand about it. It is of fields of the higher energy, higher consciousness. Then from this Anupadaka level, atom again came down to this atomic level. At this atomic level, the atom becomes twofold. It contains the Mula Prakriti Adi, then it contains the another Mula Prakriti of the and further and the forms are created and created and created, in which the light can pass through, it can penetrate to the downward. So the divine energy can descend further into the lower and lower planes. And when the divine energy descends further lower and lower from atom of the atmic plane, then when it further degraded itself, it finds itself in another plane that is called the atoms of the buddhic plane. So buddhic plane atoms is of threefold. It contains the Mula Prakriti of the Adi plus the Anupadaka, then the Atmik, and then it revealed itself in the Buddhic plane. And this Buddhic plane, again, it is a plane of higher divine quality. We know at this Buddhic plane, there is nothing called no knowledge is required there. It is a state of intuition. Here, if you enter, a thought is a particular knowledge. Here, if you think something, the whole knowledge is revealed itself. But again, it further also came down. The divine force further came down. From this Buddhi plane came the atoms of the Manasik. At the Manasik plane, the atom become fourfold. Mula Prakriti iti Adi, plus the Anupadaka, plus the Buddhi, plus then the Manasa. And it becomes fourfold. So which once upon a time was one in the Adi plane becomes fourfold in this Manasik plane. And this Manasik plane, also we know that there are so many subplanes also are there. Each plane has 7 subdivisions. Every plane has 7 subdivisions. So we cannot say that immediately the atoms of the Atmic plane becomes Buddhic. No. Atmic plane has so many subdivisions, 7 subdivisions. From the lower subdivisions of the Atmic plane emerge this plane of the Buddhic plane. Atoms of the Buddhic plane. Similarly, in the Manasic level, so many further derivatives come, duality come, multiplicity come. Here enters the first elemental world, the abstract thought, the higher thought. And here we can say it is the higher principle. Annihilation has said the mind is the higher principle. It is a principle of creativity, tremendous creativity. So that is the reason when we enter into this world of mind, we become philosophers, we become scientists, we become poets, we become writers, we become so many type of people of higher thoughts. It is a era of full of creativity. We can engage ourselves with so many abstract thoughts. Here the first elemental world also comes. Again, these atmic, again these atoms of the Manasic plane further came down to the atoms of the astral plane, and the atoms of the astral plane becomes fivefold. The Mula Prakriti of the Adi, then the Mula Prakriti of the Anupadaka, then the qualities of the Atmic, then the qualities of the Buddhi, then the qualities of the Manasik, they all are there in this Atmic plane. They constitute the Atmic plane. And the Atmic plane, the matter again further divided itself into so many subdivisions. And out of the lower subdivisions of the Atmic plane, then comes the physical plane, the plane of senses. And our senses have been designed to interact with this physical world. Our sense can read this physical world. So practically, the matter of the physical plane is actually sixfold. So what we call here is a matter, that is not here a matter, that is here a gross particle. Here the light is further deep. Here the entire cosmic light that once upon a time vibrating with divine energy, which once upon a time was so much bright and brilliant in the Adi, become dim from dim from dim, and it further become dimmer in the physical plane. Here in the physical plane, the matter has little bit become opaque, translucent to reflect the divine light. Side by side with these different planes, we also have different locals. In our scripture, in our theosophy, the universe contains different type of locals. Each loco is represented by a particular deity, by a particular tattva. And each loco has its own field of operation. I think in so many type of esoteric mantras, these locos are referred to. If you see the Gayatri mantra, to some extent we can see in that mantra, different locos are referred to. So what these 7 locos are? These 7 locos are, first comes the Vur loco. The Vur loco represents earth. It is an abode where the mortals live. It is fully presented by the physical world. So this Vur loco in which we are living, it is referred to as Vur loco. Then from Bhuvar Loko comes Bhuloko. So this earth is the Bhuloko. From this earth Bhuloko comes the Bhuvar Loko. The Bhuvar Loko represents the power of becoming. It is represent the space in between earth and the sun. So it is a space in between earth and the sun that represent this Bhuvar Loko. Very often after death we pass to this Bhuvar Loko, this particular stage. Then after this Hover Loko, then we have Swara Loko. And what is this Swara Loko? It is further expansion. We can physically say a Swara Loko is a space in between the sun and the pole star. In ancient scripture, this is also referred to as Indra Loko. This is a Loko that represents a particular field where our solar logos up to the pole star, it dominates these qualities. From the Swar Loko, if you go further, then we have Mahar Lokos are there. And this Mahar Lokos is a great spiritual sphere. And it is such a great spiritual sphere where all liberated beings live. It is supposed that great Rusi Bhrugu is living in these Mahar Lokos. So this is a locos where all liberated souls can go and can experience. Beyond that, then it comes the Jnanar Loka. So Jnanar Loko is a purely spiritual Loko. We can say it is a spiritual bar. It is a dwelling place of Sanat Kumar. So it is a place where the great spiritual vision is there, where we can create the great cosmic vision, where you can see the reality. And higher than this, then we have higher than this Jnanar Loko, we have the Topo Loko. Topo Loko is a world of meditation. It is a great world where Nirmayakas live. And these Nirmayakas are constantly creating different type of forms, different type of beings. They are giving shape to this physical universe. They are giving shape to the entire things which is actually taking place. So what we can see constantly, the creation and the destructions is going on. New things are emerging, the old is dying, new form is coming, the old form is replacing. All these things are done by these Nirmayakas and they belong to these Tapalokas. And then beyond these Tapalokas comes the last Loka, that is called the Satya Loka. Referred to as Brahma Loka. It is a world where great Jivan Mukta actually can enter. It is a world where souls having nirvanic achievement can live. It is a formless world of eternity. In this world, the pure Brahman actually is there. The pure consciousness is there. It is the highest locus to which one can actually go. So all these things are there in our universe. And what we see in this universe, physically what we see in the universe is very little. It is quite insignificant. So if you want to go deeper into this particular universe, if you want to know the rudimentary factor of this universe, then we have to look deeper within ourselves. It is in our soul, the whole universe is written. So there is no difference. There what the light that exists within my soul and the light that functions throughout this universe to some extent is one. We can say this particular time and distance, they are the wrong expressions. This time and distance, they are the illusions. At a certain level, this time and distance do not operate. Practically, we are one at every level. There is a complete oneness. The higher we go, we can feel this oneness. We can make a metaphor. Suppose here in earth we are staying. If I am going from one particular place to another particular place, I need something that can transport my body. But if I am in a higher altitude, if I say that I am at a particular time in the space station, if I want to see any spot in the earth, Just I want to look it and I will can easily visualize it. There is no things that I need to cover. No distance is there. Similarly, at a particular time, no time also is there. This time factor came because of this gravity. This gravity, because of this curvature of this space-time, it created this time factor. And with all these things, the time, distance, space, these physical objects, this date, this creation, destructions, which very often bewilder us, that very often create a greater degree of, we can say, that bewilderment within us, they do not feature the rudimentary aspects of this universe. At one level, the great force which is operating behind the screen, behind this cosmology, is the pure consciousness. And this pure consciousness is referred to, we can say in a scientific term, as singularity. We can say in another scientific term, this pure consciousness is referred to as a state of superpositioning system. They have created these particular scientific words just to represent these qualities of this pure Brahman, these qualities of the pure consciousness. And what we see actually, that is not the reality. It is a holographic presentations. So I think my time is over. In my next and concluding class, I will say that how man is related with this universe. What is the relationship between the man and the universe? Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sorry we had to intervene in between, but it was really a wonderful lecture and lots to learn in this. The beauty of it all is that if whatever science says today that we evolved from the mineral upwards, or that is this big bang, and from there, opposite is what theosophy talks about, that we've come from above, and spiritually, step by step, it comes down until we become human, and then we go back up. So the entire philosophy of theosophy is completely different from what science would say today. But yes, it's still a fantastic universe out there. And if you just look at the sizes of what we are all, the earth is just sized like a small pepper if the solar system was a football field. That is how small the earth is in just the solar system. So, and also the speeds. The earth is moving at a lakh of kilometers an hour. The solar system is moving at 8 lakhs kilometers an hour. And the whole Milky Way is also moving at 20 lakhs kilometers. So the speeds of things, the sizes of things, it's all bewildering. So obviously there is the clue to this understanding all this is only through our abstract mind. And such lectures actually really help us to delve into this whole abstract thinking that we need to develop at this stage of our development. So now we open up for any comments or questions. Professor Shinde is there. Would you like to say something? Shinde ji?
Yes, sir, they can now. Yes, sir. Unmute yourself, sir.
No, not unmuted.
Oh, sir, unmute, sir. Now you can.
Can't hear you.
You can unmute now.
Now unmute.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Host has to unmute. That is what message was coming. So
Already done.
So I could not unmute. That is why. Oh, Partha Sarathi has described too much. Actually, you cannot follow him. So many terms he has used. And it is very difficult to follow him. He has put a lot of things in front of us to contemplate. Only I can say what he said, relation between universe and the man. Well, we can say from above is below. Whatever is below, that is from the above. Or microcosmos and macrocosmos are one. So when we say universe, then the atom, then the DNA, all are interconnected, interrelated, and the same macrocosmos and microcosmos are reflected in them. That is what he tried to explain us. Thank you, Partha. You have explained a lot. But to follow you, especially scientific point of view, is little bit difficult in one talk. You have to give many talks on this. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Parthaji, would you like to respond?
Is there any questions?
No question, but you have to explain it very slowly.
No, sir. No. I have not said anything so difficult. What I am trying to say, that I am trying to unify two factors. One is what are the recent outcomes in quantum physics and what are the findings in our philosophy. The quantum physics says that the entire universe is nothing but the creation of light in different forms. Essentially, everything is light. Nothing that what we see is solid. They have certain wave functions, collapse of the wave functions, we can say. And in theosophy, we see that everything that exists, actually fundamentally they exist because the inner light is present behind them. So what form is visible, that is not important. The force that is operating behind the screen, that is important. And the findings of the quantum physics and the findings of the theosophy, they go hand in hand with each other. They support each other. They are not in conflict with each other. We can say, see a particular term, oneness. They have said that it is a state of singularity. In a state of singularity, everything is one. There is no difference at all. That is true. We know essentially there is oneness. We all are one. They say that in a state of singularity, every possible thing exists. We also know that when we are one with pure consciousness, every possibility exists. So there is no difference between pure consciousness and the singularity. There is no difference between multiplicity and the Hawkins radiations. They are also quite same. The multiplicity came or the duality came when the one wants to become many. And when one becomes many, at the same time, God himself also become many. One not diluted itself into the many. Rather, it is God who diluted himself into the many. The qualities of one is present in everything. That also we know in theosophy, that we call Eko Om and Bahusya. So God is present. When one become many, God himself also became many. So that I am trying to say.
Very good, very good. But you know what is the universe made of? It is made of 68% dark energy and 27% dark matter. And whatever normal matter is there, that is only 5%. So this from normal matter, we are trying to explore how we are connected with the cosmic energy, which is in the dark matter, which is 68%. That is what it says. But anyway, what you have told is something to contemplate now. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I have a question, Professor Partha. You said that the universe is a holographic model. Which kind of makes one think that you mean to say it is not solid? Is that what you're referring to, that it is not really solid? Or what is, of course, we know it's not solid, but what do you mean by holographic model? Sir, can you hear me?
Holography, Vimalji, holography model states us that we are not apart from the universe. Any portion of the universe, if you zoom and see, it is the universe. You are not at all apart from it.
Oh, okay, okay. That in which one large picture in which every picture is the same.
Correct. Yeah.
That is hologram. Okay.
Hologram.
All right. So shall we end, or anybody else would like to ask questions? I think we have lost
We can
Partha.
end.
Yes. Anyway, I think he's not
Partha is
here,
not
but
available. We can end now.
it was a complex lecture, and obviously such lectures one has to listen to once again to understand it, because the whole of the core philosophy is there in it. But anyway, we thank Parthaji for his effort and look forward to the next lecture next Sunday. So please join together in closing prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhagavate. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you. Thank you.